work. Can't miss.
Why all the complications? Why don't we just hire somebody to shoot her?
It's been tried again and again. We even tried to have him licked in a fist fight by two of the best men we could find. He whipped both of them in less than a half an hour. Now we'll frame him. The mayor will take his star and his guns away. And he ought to be easy killing.
Yeah. Earp in Dodge City without his guns. I'll pay for the funeral.
The job of marshal in a western cowtown of the 1870s had a brief life expectancy. Wyatt Earp had lived through the taming of Ellsworth and Wichita by the speed of his guns and the skill of his fists. But Dodge City was bigger and tougher. Hoodlums, drunken cowhands, and a few businessmen who wanted a wide-open town had determined to get rid of Marshal Earp by killing him. Thus far, alertness and luck had been with the marshal. They had been with Wild Bill Hickok, too, until an assassin's bullet crashed into his head. In the early autumn of 1876, Marshal Earp was closer to death than he had ever been before. What his enemies planned for him was no face-to-face showdown with a hired gunfighter. It was a plot far more subtle and deadly.
Ellie, you're driving me crazy.
Easy. Oh.
No, I'm...
Temper.
Me, I've never gone through anything like this in my life. Now, do you love me or don't you?
More than ever.
Well, you haven't sold the saloon.
Well, it takes a little time to find the right buyer.
Oh, quit stalling, Kelly. It took me 2 days to sell my dance, so now get out.
No, I'll sell it. I'll sell it.
When?
Well, just give me a couple more days to find...
No, today.
But, honey...
Don't try to sweet talk me. When I agreed to marry you, we said we'd get out of the dance hall and the saloon business, didn't we?
Be reasonable, Dora. The only real good offer I've had's from Butch McGuire.
So?
Well, he's a newcomer to town. I don't know much about him. Can't sell the Alhambra to just anybody.
Goodbye, Kelly.
But what if McGuire's a
A
crook?
saloon is a saloon, and it's either the Alhambra or me, and you've chosen the Alhambra.
No, I'll sell it. Today.
Well, get going, then.
Ah, that's proof I'm crazy about you. Ah, Dora.
Now, don't try to sweet talk me. We've had enough of this mushing around. We'll have time for it later on. Now, go sell the saloon.
I will. I will. Now, if you can reform, so can I.
Prove it.
Well, I'll be right back here with the money. I got just as strong a character as you got.
Bring back the money and the contract, Kelly.
I will. That I will.
Ah, Mr. Kelly. You look kind of discouraged. What's the matter?
I want no pity from you. I don't know what I came here for. All I ever get from you is good, sound, moral advice. If there's anything I hate, that's it.
Now, why don't you quit stalling and sell the Alhambra?
She told you. A personal, sacred matter, and she tells you.
Miss Dora's a good friend of mine.
And did she tell you I got to sell my place to McGuire?
Well, he made you the best offer by $5,000, didn't he?
But I don't know very much about the man, Wyatt. I've always run a good, honest place. Barring the use of an occasional Mickey Finn to keep the customers in order and save you a bit of trouble arresting them.
McGuire's going to have to run a decent place. If he tries any tricks, I'll close him. Anyway, this is all just an excuse.
Huh?
You want to welch on Miss Dora. The old Nick's too strong in you.
Indeed, now. I'll go over there and sign the papers this very minute.
All right, there's the door, and you know where the Alhambra is.
Are you trying to rush me?
No, but I do feel sorry for Miss Dora.
How's that?
Well, here she goes and sells her nice little dance hall and buys a home the other side of town, and you just back out.
Well, selling a dance hall ain't the same as selling a place like the Alhambra.
It's the same principle.
No, it is not. Well, that saloon's been a home to me, Wyatt. I like the smell of it, and the noise, and the talk my customers bring in from the trails. You not being a drinking man, you got no heart for the Alhambra. It's been my very life these 5 years. They'll miss old Jim, the boys will. I feel like I'm deserting them.
Well, all right, then don't sell it.
And give up Dora?
Well, sure, why not?
That's the real Wyatt Earp talking. A whited sepulcher. Trying to break up the holy bonds of matrimony. Well, I'm selling that saloon, and I'm marrying Dora. And the likes of you can't stop me.
Hello, McGuire.
Hello.
Unexpected you.
Good. Have the boy tie the horse up. Hey.
Come inside. I want to talk to you.
There ain't nothing to be that afraid of.
Well, Earp and I aren't exactly friendly. You can never tell who'll listen and carry tales. Is Kelly going to sell?
Well, he's got to sell. If you owned a saloon and Dora Hand agreed to marry you if you sold, well, how long could you wait, Brother Albright?
Well, I'm a happily married man.
Sure. Jim ain't so happy about it, though. He feels so bad, they tell me he's drinking his own whiskey.
That's what I figured.
I don't think it hurt his brain.
Doesn't have to. Just well-oiled and anxious to get it over with. Here's the bill of sale and the transfer of the real estate.
Does it have to be this long? Kelly might get suspicious.
I know Jim. It'll be a wrench for him, parting with the Alhambra. He won't even bother to read the inventory of the stock and furnishings. In matters of business, Jim is a little careless and impulsive. Now, here's the really important item hidden on the middle of page 3.
And to Wyatt Earp, who will have a 20% interest in the business. Hey, won't we need Earp's signature on this to make it legal?
I'll take care of that later.
Forgery, huh? Well, Earp will deny it.
We don't have handwriting experts out here, Mr. McGuire. I've got a clerk working for me that can make Earp's name pass on a bank check.
Yeah, but we're handing him 20% of a good business.
Temporarily. Just temporarily. I'm lending you half the price with no interest. But if you get cold feet...
Oh, no. I'll make the deal. You really must despise Earp.
He's cost me thousands. We don't need a church deacon running a closed town. A wide open town is good for business.
Well, I'll go along with that. It's a deal. All the way.
All the way.
Just one. Straight.
You made up your mind to do it?
Yeah. Come on. McGuire will keep you on, Soapy. You and all the boys.
Thanks. It won't be the same.
Oh, what's the difference? One saloon's the same as another.
No, sir. This was more than a saloon the way you run it, Mr. Kelly. The cowhands come busting through them doors like hungry kids into their mama's kitchen. When the next outfit drives to Dodge and someone yells, "Hey, where's Kelly?" I sure hate to tell them.
Ah, shut up. McGuire talks like a good, honest Irishman.
Yeah, but he ain't no Jim Kelly.
He'll sell 'em good stuff. He won't cold deck the cards. If he does, Earp will close him. And if he sees they had too much, he'll throw 'em out. Same as I always done.
You reckon he'll stake him to grub and tobacco money and pay their doctor bills if they're broke and sick and...
Shut up, I said. See who it is.
It's Mr. McGuire.
Let him in. I'll be in the back room.
You sure you don't want to change your mind?
No, let him in.
Come in, Mr. McGuire.
Oh, hello, Soapy.
He's in the back room.
Thanks. 14,000, 14,500, 15,000. There, better count it yourself.
I counted it. Place is yours.
Now, Mr. Kelly, your signature in 2 places, the bill of sale and the real estate transfer.
I don't need all this stuff, neither do you. You paid the money, we shake hands.
Look, I had to borrow part of the money from the bank. As far as you and I go, we shake hands. But the bank wants your John Henry here and on the last page there.
All right. There, it's done. You keep all my boys hired.
Why, of course, that's part of the deal.
Place is yours. I'm going out the back door.
Good luck, Mr. Kelly.
Good luck to yourself.
Dora wants to know if you can come out to the new house right away.
What's the matter, Millie?
Mr. Jim Kelly. He's intoxicated.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. Charlie, that's wonderful work. Can you tell a difference?
Charlie's a genius. Here, I've got some private business with Mr. Albright. Now, let me get this straight. If Earp starts to give me a rousting at the Alhambra, I take these to Mayor Hoover. Hoover fires Earp. Earp gets sore and comes down to forget me at the Alhambra.
And the boys start a free-for-all gunfight.
And Earp accidentally gets killed. Pretty slick. And I think it'll work.
You think it'll work? You know it'll work.
Oh, no, you don't. You've had enough. Now have some tomatoes. Thanks for coming so quick, Wyatt.
What do you have?
Too much. Jim's not a drinker, and he's got himself into a dirty sulk. He's mourning about that saloon.
You want me to take him on back to town and let him sleep it off?
No, I want you to try to help me sober him up so he can catch the 11 o'clock stage to Kansas City.
Kansas City?
Well, I've got to get him out of town. If he stays in town, he's going to sober up and try to buy that saloon back tomorrow. Come on, help me, please. Jim. Jim.
What do I do with my time in Kansas City?
You can buy hardware for the new store, Kelly.
Now, White, you'll keep an eye on the old place now.
That's a promise, Mr. Kelly.
Now, I want you to stay at least a week in Kansas City, Kelly.
Bye, darling.
So long, Kelly.
Now, about the Alhambra.
Come on, they're waiting for you.
Watch your step. There we go. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye.
Do you think he'll stick to it?
Well, I sure hope so.
And Wyatt, do you think that...
Wyatt, there's trouble at the Alhambra.
Oh?
Soapy and one of the dealers. They threatened to kill McGuire.
Excuse me, Miss Doyle. Oh, do you want Hal to drive you home?
No, I'm all right, thanks.
Don't you worry about it.
And the deal was for you to keep us all on. It didn't call for me to cut drinks or for the dealer to cold deck poker and faro.
All right, quit.
It ain't that easy, McGuire. We got a good reputation in this town.
The Alhambra's an honest joint.
Kelly never should have sold it to you.
I'm warning you.
Open up, it's Marshal Earp.
Thanks for getting here so quick. I want these men arrested.
What for?
Well, he pulled a gun on me, and they both threatened to give me a pistol whipping.
He ordered me to water the drinks, Mr. Earp.
Take a look at these cards, Marshal.
Yeah, they're shaved or printed phony. He ordered him to cold deck Mr. Kelly's customers.
They're shaved, all right. I'm closing you, Mr. McGuire.
That's what you think.
Why, you...
Take it easy. No sense in starting any trouble.
Yeah, but he's a real bad one, Marshal. Where's Mr. Kelly?
He went away on business. I'll handle this. Tell the customers you're closing for the night.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh, there you are.
All right, Mr. McGuire. Now, what's so important that you have to get me out of bed?
Earp and I bought Kelly's place.
What? Marshal Earp bought... Oh, no fairy stories, please.
There's his signature right on the deal.
Where's Marshal Earp?
Be back in a couple of minutes.
Good.
He's due now.
It looks to me, Mr. Mayor, as though they pulled a fast one. They sell me the Alhambra. Then Earp frames me into a charge of crooked work. Kelly comes back and buys the place for a song. The place is closed. What can I do? I gotta sell.
I see. Yes, it could happen that way.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Wyatt.
Well, Mr. Mayor?
I want to question Mr. Earp in private.
He'll deny everything, but there's the proof in black and white. I'll wait outside.
He says you own 20% of the Alhambra. Looks like your signature in two places.
That's a good forgery.
Who did it?
Well, the only one in town that could have done it this well is Mr. Albright's clerk. He served time forging checks in Oklahoma.
All right, eh? Well, that makes everything clear. I'll get that scoundrel if...
Oh, wait a minute, sir. Let's try and figure out what he wants you to do with me. Now, if you fired me, I could still keep my guns, but if you just suspended me, you'd take my badge and my guns until after an investigation. Now, let's go along with their game and suspend me.
But, Wyatt, how can you be...
Albright doesn't want me fired. Wants to set me up for a killing.
Without your star and guns. And you expect me to...
I want to catch Albright. Now, you, call Mr. McGuire in here, suspend me, and tell him that you're going to have a full investigation.
After you're dead? Now, Wyatt.
I know it's risky. It's the only way to get the goods on Albright. He hired Clay Allison to gun me. All I did is punch his face. And this time I really want to discourage him. We got to go along with this plan. If we don't, Albright's going to keep trying until he does get me.
But without your guns, you'll be a sitting duck.
Mr. Mayor, I've never been a sitting duck. Now, please do me this favor.
Favor? Well, all right. Mr. McGuire.
Oh.
Mr. Earp denies everything. He says the signature was forged.
You believe that?
I don't know what to believe. But pending a full investigation, I have no choice but to suspend Mr. Earp. Take off your star and guns.
You're the mayor. But I'm not going to need my guns. I'm going to beat your brains out with my fists. Now, you keep your saloon closed and get out of town.
You heard him threaten me. The Alhambra stays open. And don't come down there looking for me. You might get into trouble. You better keep him here till he cools off.
Yes. Mr. Earp, you're under temporary arrest for your own good.
You keep the Alhambra closed.
You're not the marshal now. My place will be running high, wide, and handsome the rest of the evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Well, here we go, fellas. She's open, boys, wide open. Earp's been suspended, so he ain't marshal no more. You can all wear your guns, and tonight, the fun's all on Butch McGuire. Come on in. Come on, boys.
Well, now you know the whole story. Try and talk some sense into his head. I can't.
Why take chances, Wyatt?
Yeah, Mayor Hoover will fix things in the morning.
We'll go in there with guns and clean the whole place out.
No, I'll do it my way.
But you won't get a chance to use your fist on McGuire. Him and his gang will stage a fake free-for-all.
Yeah, they'll cut you down and say it was accidental.
Whose life is it?
Go along with him, boys. I appoint you his bodyguards until he's reinstated as marshal.
No, you stay out of it. Now, you promised me I could handle this. You gonna back out on that?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Wyatt.
Oh, you heard about it, huh?
Yes, and you're not going near that place. Jim would never forgive me if I let anything happen to you.
You want Mr. Kelly to stay in the saloon business?
No, Wyatt, but you...
Now, listen to me, Miss Dora. I try to let the other fellow make the mistakes. I guess that's why I've gone on living.
Yes, but you can't go after McGuire empty-handed. Isn't that foolish?
Look, Pete Albright tricked Kelly into selling to a hoodlum. Now, if I can just get the goods on Albright, the court will seize the business. The court won't sell it back to Mr. Kelly, I promise you that. I got quite a stake in both of you, you know.
Yes, but not at the cost of your own life.
Well, I'm not quite that sentimental. Anyway, there's kind of a catch in this whole thing that Mr. Albright and McGuire don't know about. I guess Mayor Hoover, my deputy, should have known, but it kind of slipped their memory. Now, you just go on home and write a nice long letter to Mr. Kelly.
Earp's coming. No guns, no star.
Good. Business as usual, fellas. Everybody pretend we don't know.
Who starts it?
I do.
Yeah, well, then I better get...
Get hold of yourself. Earp ain't got arms 10 yards long.
Yeah, I know, but...
You stay here.
Sit down. All right, Mr. McGuire, take off your guns and step outside.
Why, sure.
Start shooting, all of you.
No, Mr. Albright, you start. Or I will. I got 2 loads left. Who's next?
Deputies, arrest Earp. He's not the marshal. He's got no right to carry a gun.
Mr. Albright, you framed me. I want you to admit that.
Oh.
You got 1 good hand left. I'll wait until you draw.
No. No, don't.
Mr. Albright and Mr. McGuire didn't know I was a deputy federal marshal. They're under arrest for forging my name. It's a federal offense.
What about the rest of them, Wyatt?
Take them all to jail. I want this place cleaned up. Clem, pick up the guns.
Come on. Gun belts on.
Go on.
Move.
Come on, you can walk this up with Bernie's. Give me a hand.
Take him to the dock.
Are you all right, Wyatt?
Just like old times.
Mr. Kelly, what are you doing back?
I've always been here.
He says he came back to get some souvenirs. Now, what would he be doing with a bunch of souvenirs from a saloon?
Nothing, and he knows it. It doesn't belong to you, Mr. Kelly. Now, the court's going to be seizing this whole place.
That's all right, Kelly. You've still got Dora.
That's right, Dora.
Hand to yours, Wyatt. Got your bunt line special. Why don't you drop him as he comes down the trail? Or hang him right here.
Sheriff Bassett, his Chief Deputy Bill Tillman, Marshal Wyatt Earp, we're all thinking the same thing.
Well?
No. We take him alive and let the law hang him.
You sure you'll stick to that?
I don't know.
Better make up your mind, Wyatt. Here he comes.
Perhaps the main reason his enemies hated Marshal Wyatt Earp was Wyatt's profound loyalty to his friends. Then there were such characters as Jim Kelly and Dora Hand, the queen of Dodge City nightlife. Jim Kelly, the saloon keeper who backed Wyatt in his struggle to civilize roarin', snortin' Dodge. And Dora Hand, a legend in her own lifetime on the frontier, whose romance with Kelly and friendship with Wyatt caused some lifting of eyebrows among the respectable citizens of Dodge City. But Wyatt Earp, having once gained a friend, was loyal to that friend to the last ditch.
Howdy, Wyatt.
Hey, you look like a married man already, Mr. Kelly.
None of your bachelor grins now. I may back out on it entirely. And what would you think of that?
You'll be at the church tomorrow. Where's Miss Dora?
Still sewing on that dress. I tell you, Wyatt, I'm shaky. Hey, what are you toting?
Oh, it's a present. And it's hefty. I'm kind of scared to show it to Miss Dora.
What is it now?
Never mind. It's for the bride-to-be to open, not you.
Wyatt, I'm not good enough for her.
No, you're not.
I knew you'd say that, and I ought to get sore. But it's the Lord's own truth. You can't take a man out of a saloon and put him in a hardware store on the right side of town and expect a miracle.
Well, Miss Dora doesn't expect that. She knows you.
But is it fair now for me to be marrying her?
Mr. Kelly, the women always get the worst of it. They expect that. Anyway, if women weren't braver than men, there'd be mighty few marriages. No, Miss Dora knows exactly what she's got to put up with.
Come in, Wyatt. Put the clock down.
Clock?
It's a beautiful Seth Thomas with chimes. And you paid far too much for it. But there's no need to pretend we don't need a clock. You open it, Jim. You're the head of the household.
How'd you find out that I was giving you a clock?
Mr. Levy told me that you sent all the way to St. Louis for it. And he didn't want you to waste money on something we didn't need. Oh, Jim, isn't he beautiful?
Sure is. One of those new 8-day clocks. Must have cost you mighty near a month's pay.
Oh, now mind your manners, Kelly. You know that we don't put a price on anything. Oh, you better let Wyatt put it on the mantelpiece. I don't trust Jim in the state he's in.
Want me to wind it?
Oh, no, it's bad luck. Wait until after the wedding tomorrow.
Well, we sure do thank you. Do I get to wind it?
Bend down, Wyatt. We'll treasure this all our lives.
Thank you, Miss Dora. Mr. Kelly, you don't know how lucky you are.
We're both fools for luck. Oh, this is a far cry from the Alhambra Saloon and Dora's dance hall. Oh, why, Wyatt... Dear.
What's wrong?
It's that Rellens kid. You know, hon, the one whose father owns that big ranch down in Texas.
I'll settle his hash.
No, you let me take care of it. He thinks he's in love with me. I'll let him down easy.
But Dora...
Now stay out of it, Kelly.
Let Miss Dora handle it.
Howdy, Bob.
Is it true?
What do you mean?
As soon as I hit town, they told me about you marrying that old man. It can't be true.
If you mean Jim Kelly's not an old man. Yes, we are getting married tomorrow.
That Irish saloon keeper? You're smarter than that.
Oh, how smart should I be?
Dora, listen. I told you I'd marry you just as soon as I collected from my mama. Well, I collected. I'm over 21 and my old man hasn't got a thing to say about it.
I don't rob cradles, Bob. I told you that, didn't I?
You ain't marrying Jim Kelly.
Oh, yes, I am tomorrow.
You're marrying me.
Bob, look. Your pop may own half of Texas, but it doesn't make any difference to me if he owns the whole state. I'm 30 years old. Go back to Texas, Bob. Get a gal your own age.
Go. Get on your horse, kid.
Well, the bridegroom, you think. You stupid Irish no-good.
Get on over here, Dora.
Wyatt!
Get in the house, both of you.
Kelly, temper now. Come on, do it, Wyatt.
So you're Wyatt Earp, huh?
That's right.
That's supposed to impress me? My name is Rellens. Bob Rellens.
I heard of your father. Nothing very good. I don't want to hear any more about you. Now, you get in that horse and ride out of this town. Leave it alone. You're a spoiled brat. Sit on, Kelly. Give you that beating. You swing another punch at me, and I'm going to give you that licking, boy.
You're bigger than me, Earp. But Dora ain't gonna marry that Irish, you understand?
I told you to get on that horse. The time's run out in this town. If I see you here again, your father isn't going to know you.
I'll get me another gun, Earp. You tell that friend Kelly, Dora ain't gonna marry that Irisher.
Wyatt. Wyatt. Jim wants to go gunning for that fool kid.
Won't be necessary. Mr. Kelly, would you bring my hat?
But Bob is so mean when he's jealous and drunk.
You and Jim forget about it. I'll run him out of town. Thank you. Oh, see you both at the party tonight, huh?
Oh, yes, of course, Wyatt. There wouldn't be any party without you.
Thanks. Hello, Sam.
Oh, hello, Marshal.
You got a guest here by the name of Bob Rellens?
Yeah, but he checked out. Not 5 minutes ago.
Where is he now, do you know?
Threw his saddlebags on his horse and rode off. Acted sore at all us folks in Dodge. Reckon he headed back to Texas. And a good riddance, if you ask me.
Yeah, it sure is, if he did go.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Howdy, Wyatt.
Howdy, Sheriff. Mr. Tillman, I'm hunting for Bob Rellens.
Jim, what's he done?
Shot somebody in the back?
Oh, he threatened Jim Kelly. I ordered him to leave town.
He didn't leave?
I'm not sure. I've had my deputies out hunting for him since before noon. I was wondering if you and Mr. Tillman would give me a hand.
Of course, Wyatt. If that Rellens kid was still in town, where do you figure he'd be hiding?
Well, Steve Corning's old man Rellens' lawyer up here.
You talk to Steve.
Right.
I'll get some of my deputies. We'll help you check the trails.
Thanks, Charlie. That'd be the quickest way. I don't want Mr. Kelly's wedding interfered with.
Nobody does. Him and Dora have invited the whole town. Everybody will turn out to wish him well, too.
And don't worry about Rellens, Wyatt. We'll find him.
Thanks.
Howdy, Bob.
Howdy.
You're heading the wrong way, ain't you?
I'm heading for Texas. Is that the wrong way?
You'll be missing all the fun, Bob.
Oh?
Jim Kelly's marrying Dora Hand tomorrow. Free drinks and a picnic all day long.
That's too bad. I gotta shove along home now.
Bye.
Bye.
Howdy, Marshal. Sheriff. We're looking for a boy by the name of Bob Rellens. You happen to know him? Sure. I just passed him down the road a ways.
Heading south?
Yep. I charged him a little about missing a big day tomorrow. Kelly getting married, you know. But he said they had to move along home to Texas.
Did he act drunk or sore or anything?
Why no, Sheriff. It's a fair question. What are you after him for?
Marshal Earp ordered him to leave town. We're just making sure he left. I guess the boy come to his senses, Wyatt.
Yeah, I guess so.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
If you're still not satisfied, we can overtake the boy. I don't know what we could arrest him for.
No, Charlie, not much sense in that. Guess I'm just kind of jumpy.
Kelly should be nervous, not you. Come on, get him off your mind.
gentlemen, this is the finest bachelor dinner I've ever attended. And the soberest. Jim Kelly, you're very good health.
That's right. Let's have a speech, Mr. Kelly.
Yeah, come on, how about a few words?
Well, Dora talked me into having the dinner here. She wanted to keep me sober.
Oh.
But we've had our fun and our jokes now, but in the general excitement, I plumb forgot to ask the Reverend to say grace. I hope it's not too late for his blessing on this house.
My good friends, I'm not going to say grace. Mr. Kelly, you and Miss Dora blessed this house with your love. Only love can bless a house and a marriage. But it took considerable more than that. It took great courage to cross Marshal Earp's deadline, to start a new life on this side of town. I'm wondering what you have to say to that, Mr. Earp.
Amen.
I say God bless all of you. Without Wyatt's help, the Reverend's, and all of you, I'd have never made it. It's a little miracle, it is, turning a hoodlum like me into a respectable merchant.
Good evening, gentlemen. Did you have too much to drink, Kelly? Shame on you. In front of the Reverend Hawker, too. I thought you were going to watch out for him, Wyatt.
Oh, he only had a couple of glasses of champagne.
It isn't the wine, it's the Irish in him, Miss Dora.
Lovely things was said, Dora. Lovely.
I apologize. Mrs. Hawkett's waiting outside for you. And Mrs. Hoover's waiting outside for you. She's worried about you. And I'm worried about all of you. Bachelor dinners. Do you know it's 2 o'clock in the morning?
But Dora...
We're going to have one of the biggest weddings that Dodge City's ever had.
Miss Dora's right. It is getting kind of late.
Good night.
Good night, Mayor.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
I'm going to take Mr. Kelly on over to the hotel and see that he gets tucked into bed.
Thank you, Wyatt.
Hold on, Wyatt. I haven't showed her my wedding outfit.
Where is it, Kelly?
Wyatt left it in the bedroom. Now, the hat and coat may be too loud.
I'm a little tired, Kelly. Anything you wear will be all right with me.
She'll look at it, and she'll let you know whether she likes it in the morning. So, I'll wait for you outside. Good night, Miss Dora.
Good night, Wyatt. Good night, Kelly. Dream me an Irish dream.
I will. That I will.
Don't forget the wedding tomorrow.
What? I don't like leaving her alone.
She's not alone. Mrs. Norton's staying with her.
You sure Rellens didn't sneak back?
If he did come back, he'd be after you, not Miss Dora. Well, he's probably 50 miles down the trail to Texas by now. Come on.
Dora, is she hurt bad? I'll go for Doc McCarty. No, you go.
Come on, give me a hand.
Dora.
Take it easy.
Wyatt, she's hurt bad. Do something. Do something.
There's nothing to do, Mr. Kelly.
Oh, Dora.
Don't take on so, Mr. Kelly.
Let him cry. He's got a better right to cry. I'm going after Rellens. Now, we know he left by the Jones and Plummer Trail, but he'd be a fool to stay on it with only an hour head start.
And he'll circle to ford the Cimarron and hit the Texas Trail in the Nations.
That'll be my guess, Charlie. The best ford is right here by Wagon Bed Springs.
That's a big gamble, Wyatt. Why, it's 70 miles across that prairie to the springs. Besides, he may get there ahead of us.
Then we run him all the way to Texas.
How much further is Cimarron, you figure, Wyatt?
Well, about 30 miles over there.
Been riding 6 hours now. We better lay up and rest the horses.
Well, I vote we go on.
Wyatt's right. Man on the run usually figures he's got a posse of soft town folks after him. This may be our one chance to head Rellens off.
Let's go.
United States Marshal, open up.
Is Wagon Bed Springs?
Yes, sir.
How far is it to Cimarron Ford?
Oh, gosh almighty, it's just across that field.
You seen any horsemen today or heard any tonight?
Nobody traveling either way, mister.
That's good. Charlie, you and Bill, get yourself warm and rest your horses. I'm going to go on down to the ford and make sure. All right. Can I borrow your lantern, mister?
Help yourself, Marshal. You other gentlemen go over and water your horses and come on in the house.
Thank you.
Easy, Wyatt. Thought you'd like some coffee.
Thanks. That's good. I figure Rellens will be by come sunup. Make the fight right here, keep the shots away from the house.
Well, have you thought it over?
What?
Do we just kill him outright, or do we hang him?
Can't do either one, Charlie. You know that. Supposed to bring him in alive.
Rellens has an awful powerful papa, Wyatt. The old man will spend any amount to get him off.
Money isn't going to get him off. They'll hang him in Dodge after a fair trial.
I hope so.
But you doubt it, huh? You, Bill, and I are officers of the law. All we can do is arrest the skunk. We're not supposed to judge him or execute him.
Fine. Come on. Let's get out of this and get some rest.
Kill that girl in cold blood.
Even if he meant it for Kelly, he had murder in his heart.
Wyatt, I'll drop him. Or better yet, how about Charlie and me cutting loose on him together?
I feel the same way you do. I know better, and so do you. Just knock him off his horse.
You do it, Wyatt. I don't trust myself.
All right. Here he comes.
Oh! Oh!
Did I get Kelly?
No. You killed Miss Dora.
You're lying.
Don't you never call Wyatt a liar. He's a fool to let you live, but he's telling the truth. You killed the girl.
Dora. Go ahead. Finish me off.
Oh, I'd like to. Killing's too good for you. Where you hit?
In the back, I can't feel my legs.
Your horse ridge spoiled my aim.
Oh!
Is it bad? Have to make a stretcher.
Order! Order! The accused will come forward. Mr. Rellens, in the opinion of this court, you are guilty of murder. Doctors have testified that you will never walk again and might die at any time. This court, however, is not swayed by irrelevant facts. Order! Order! Any more disturbance and I'll have Marshal Earp clear the courtroom. Your counsel, Mr. Rellens, have asked a change of venue on the ground that public opinion is so inflamed in Dodge City that you could not receive a fair trial here. The court is obliged to agree to their contention.
Quiet! Quiet! Sit down! Sit down and stay there.
For the benefit of the public, the court must observe that any man accused of any crime is guaranteed a fair trial by the law of the country. Change of venue is hereby granted, and you'll be tried in Abilene. Sheriff Bassett, remove the prisoner. Court adjourned.
You better give him a good charge. You better
Now, Mr. Kelly. Killing Rellens isn't going to bring her back. You'd have to punish you as a common hoodlum. Do you think Miss Dora would want that? They'll hang him in Abilene. If they don't, he'll pay in remorse and pain the rest of his life. Even if he gets off scot-free, Mr. Kelly, he'll still have to face the final judge.
I said put it on. You've tipped off Wyatt Earp, you'll get your share of bullets. If nothing goes wrong in the holdup, then you'll be just like us, an outlaw.
Why don't you let Earp catch him red-handed, Dave?
Hey, it's an idea. The great Wyatt Earp catches his best friend, Bat Masterson, in the Santa Fe payroll robbery. All right, let's ride.
The friendship between Wyatt Earp and young Bat Masterson was a rough and ready alliance of startlingly dissimilar characters. It began with Bat's hero worship of the older and wiser Marshal Earp. It grew as Bat determined to follow Wyatt in the dangerous career of a Western peace officer. Wyatt had advised his young friend to go to school and choose some other business. Bat made a try at this while Wyatt was Marshal of Wichita. But when Wyatt moved on to Dodge City and gained fame as the first marshal who could hold his own with hoodlums of that rip-roaring cowhand capital, Bat Masterson was drawn to Dodge as by an irresistible lure. Whatever befell, he would prove to Marshal Earp that he had the makings of a great deputy.
Oh, so this is Dodge City, hmm?
Toughest camp of them all, ma'am. But I'll keep an eye on you.
It's nice to know, Mr. Masterson.
I'll get the bag. Oh, don't rush off, Miss Nellie. Your little brother can tote the luggage to the hotel.
Mr. Lukens, I thought I told you I didn't want to be bothered.
Oh, now, is that friendly? No, I can show you a good time. Oh, here, boy. Take that luggage over to the hotel, will you, for the young lady?
You.
Hey, you're right-handy with your fists. How are you with a gun?
Pretty fair.
Well, the next time I see you, wear it.
Come on, let's go to the hotel.
You do the same.
Come on, let's go. You told me you wanted a job with Marshal Earp. Is this going to help any?
Lukens asked for a gunfight.
I think you ought to talk to Mr. Earp first.
Wyatt. Your old friend, Bat Masterson, is in town. He just had a fist fight with a fellow by the name of Lucan outside the stage depot. They're going to shoot it out the next time they meet.
Were they fighting over a girl?
She's a real fairy belle, according to the stage driver.
Yeah, well, that's bad, all right.
I have a very nice room for you, southwest corner. Register, please.
All right.
Hello, Mr. Masterson.
Hey, Wyatt! Why, I meant to write you.
You never learned how to write. I say you got a little smear on your upper lip.
Oh, that's a mustache. Mexican style.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so glad to see you, I plumb forgot. Miss Nellie, I want you to meet Wyatt Earp.
How do you do?
I'd almost decided to render the jail for you.
How's that?
Mr. Masterson here wants to gun a man.
Not unless he comes after me.
I'm afraid the gunfight's gonna have to wait.
Why?
Because you're under arrest, that's why.
Another joke?
No, I'd have a fine time with my enemies if I let my friends break the law.
Well, thank goodness. Look, there's a lot of things about this that I haven't told you yet. But I will later. Why don't you keep him with you a few hours? By that time, somebody else will probably shoot Lukens. It's been a real pleasure, Mr. Earp.
Do I have to put the handcuffs on you?
No, I'll go along peaceable. Try my stomach. And the first thing I do is get into a fight. Sure isn't a very good time to be asking you for a deputy's job.
So who's the girl?
Well, she got aboard at Abilene. We struck up a conversation, that's all. Look, I'm not the fool I used to be about women. I'm practically cured.
Oh, well, that's good. Are you still really serious about wanting that deputy job?
Yes, sir, I sure do.
All right. You do me a favor. Keep this in the gun rack.
Yeah, but what if Lukens comes after me?
Oh, come on, act your age. You could shoot his ears off. You know that.
Well, yes, sir.
Now, when I go to see Mayor Hoover to get his approval on your deputy job, I'd look pretty silly trying to explain how you killed a man over a girl, wouldn't it?
I see that. How about the arrest?
That's first offense.
Thanks, White.
I'll let you buy me a dinner down at your hotel tonight.
I owe you a lot more than a dinner. Well, this is my lucky day, Mr. Dealer.
Fine, good luck. Your name Masterson? Mr. Lukens was here, said he'd be back. Want you to wait.
I'm not frightened. Let's have a nice, quiet game of cards.
Fine with me.
You paralyzed all of a sudden?
Where's your gun?
It's in the rack.
Well, go get it. Or maybe you're too scared.
No. I just don't want any trouble.
Big talk. No fight?
All right. I'll meet you outside.
Look out!
You want any more?
Hold it.
I'm sorry, Wyatt. I tried to keep out, but he crowded me.
That's right, Mr. Earp.
It's not hurt bad. Couple of you men walk him on over to Doc McCarty's.
You sore at me.
I was on my way to see the mayor.
And now the deputy job's all off, huh? Well, come on, give it to me straight. Look, I'm not gonna beg you.
Mr. Masterson, the deputy can't afford to get mixed up with women and gambling. Now, if you hadn't gone over to Beeson's place to play Pharaoh, you might have kept out of Lucan's way.
And let everybody think I was afraid of him?
It isn't what everybody thinks. And you claim you want to work for me, so it's what I think.
Oh, and you're still my school teacher, huh? Well, I don't need any lectures about how I gamble or what women I run with. Forget the job.
Wait a minute. You shot Lucan's in self-defense. But I think you acted like a trigger-happy brat.
My friend.
Who is it?
Hey, Pollock, open up.
It's kind of risky, isn't it?
I'd rather take a chance of moving during the daylight than being bushwhacked by some reward hunter at night. You need a drink?
It's on the bureau.
So that's the way it is now, huh? Little Nell ain't fetching drinks for her Davy boy anymore. Well, since it's going to be strictly business, we're hitting the Santa Fe payroll.
Yeah?
They bring $30,000 into this town every Saturday. But on what train, I don't know. Or how it gets out to the construction camp. That's your part of the job.
For how much?
The usual.
Oh, no. That won't be enough.
Won't it?
No. I'm not casing any more jobs for two-bit money while you throw away hundreds on her.
And which her is that?
On Blanche.
You listen to me. You give me any more trouble and you get a lot worse. Now, you be out the camp tomorrow night with the information I want.
Come in.
Hope I didn't keep you waiting too long.
If you got in here any sooner, you'd have to use wings. I don't see any wings or any halo.
I've been around. Your message said you needed help. What's the trouble?
How do you stand with your friend, Mr. Earp?
Not good.
It won't last. You and I are going to have to cut him in on this pretty soon.
In on what?
I know how you can get your deputy job and a big chunk of money besides. Come on, it's safer to talk outside.
Wyatt? Mr. Kenton, Mr. Earp.
How do you do, sir?
Mr. Kenton is a detective with the Santa Fe.
Oh, how are you?
Mike worried. You got a reward sheet on Dave Pollock, his gang, the train robbers?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Kenton thinks he saw Pollock in our town.
Yes, he visited Nellie Wright at the Dodge Hotel.
Miss Nellie, huh?
She used to be his girl. Maybe she still is.
Oh, sit down, Mr. Kenton.
And that's where you and Marshal Earp come in. I tell you the robbery set up, and you tell him. And I want 2/3 of the reward money.
I wasn't thinking about that.
Well, think about it, or there's no deal.
Turning in a hoodlum like Dave Pollock, you could get hurt.
So could you. That's another thing. I want Mr. Earp to promise to make a clean sweep of Dave and all his men. I'd kind of like to go on living.
Maybe it's too big a risk. White might not believe me. Anyway, how do I know you're going to stay hitched? You think you hate Pollock now? cowhead. Don't get scared.
You're the one who's scared. All right. I'll tell Mr. Earp.
You go near Wyatt and Pollock will hear about it.
Dave's in a hurry. He's going to want to hit that payroll this Saturday. I'll meet you at the Long Branch tomorrow at 3. Slip you a note. That's the deal?
Yeah. Then I'll tip off Wyatt.
Okay.
Well, I'll have one of my deputies watch the girl, Mr. Kenton. If I were you, I wouldn't change any of my payroll delivery.
Well, do you think we can take Pollock if he rides in?
The main thing is not to scare him off.
One other point. What about young Masterson?
Well, Mr. Masterson is as honest as you are.
Thank you very much, Mr. Earp.
I thought you invited me to have dinner with him.
Why would I do that? We're not friendly.
Are you really that sore?
Yes, I am. Now get away from me, will you?
Well, let's have some fun, Ellie. Let's go dancing or something.
No, I've got to go in.
Oh, no, it ain't even 7 o'clock yet, Nellie. We're not even started
A lot
yet.
more than started.
You know, you're pretty cute, Nellie.
Stop it. You've had too much, Mr. Sprague. Now trot along home.
No, Nellie, I'd rather be with you.
Mr. Sprague, will you go home?
Nellie! So you're gonna be like that? Excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna look for a little trouble. That's what I have to have, some trouble. What's going to happen to me?
Nothing. Come on, Mr. Sprague, drink your coffee.
I'll lose my job at the railroad.
No, you won't. Not if you tell me what you told that girl.
Well, I thought it was a joke how careless they handle the payroll.
Careless, huh?
They sure are. They put it in a gunny sack and just throw it on a wagon that hauls the grub to camp. Ain't that funny? Thousands of dollars rolling around on a camp wagon. That was the joke I told the girl.
All right. Now, you have nothing more to do with Miss Nellie, you understand?
Oh, never.
Al, do you want to take Mr. Sprague home?
Yeah, let's go home.
Yeah. What about Masterson? Shouldn't we pick him up?
I'll take care of that when the time comes.
All right. Yeah, let's go home, huh?
Yep, we go home.
That'll take too long, you know.
Won't you join us? Stay a while?
No, thanks. It's all there.
Gunny sack. In a camp wagon. You been followed?
Maybe.
Just one more question.
What?
One of my boys saw you talking to a young fella, Pat Masterson.
What about it?
He's a good friend of Wyatt Earp's.
They hate each other. If you don't believe me, have your boys ask around the saloons.
Maybe I will.
Go ahead, I don't care. Call the whole thing off.
No, it goes tomorrow morning, you hear me?
Oh, shut up. I'll be there. Come on.
Danny? We're not going to take a chance on Masterson. We'll take care of him tonight.
Good, Dave.
You want in on this, Bat?
No, guess I better quit. I gotta see a friend of mine. Say, have you seen anything of Miss Nellie Wright?
Left before noon. Hasn't come back yet.
I'll drop around later.
You meet the Pollock outfit? Railroad detectives been waiting for you.
Mr. Masterson still in town?
Yeah, gambling at the Long Branch.
You missed her. She came in and then checked out in a big hurry.
Did she say where she was going?
Left you a note. But she didn't say where she was going.
You got a pencil?
Yes. Here you are, young man. Right here.
Send this out to Marshal up at the jail, will you? Give the boy this. If Miss Nellie hired a rig, where's she most likely to get it?
Livery stable's right across the alley. You go out here and turn to your right.
Thanks.
And that...
And what right have you to assume that Masterson isn't in cahoots with Pollock? Isn't it logical he might
No,
have...
sir.
Well, why isn't it
Because
logical?
I trust him.
You trust him?
Now, look, I'm not going to arrest Mr. Masterson. I'm not going to ask him any questions. I wouldn't want him to doubt my honesty, and I don't doubt his.
Well, then where are we? How can we set a trap for Pollock if we don't know where he's going to jump the payroll wagon?
I sent for him.
Really, Earp, of all the stubborn, misguided loyalty to a wild young yahoo, I'm...
Excuse me. It's from Mr. Masterson. Says he'll see me later. Now, this looks like a case plan for the holdup. What do you think, Mr. Kenton?
Little David's garden. Well, where's that?
It's about 5 miles out of town. It's a stretch of boulders and brush.
Well, we'll be there. Now, shouldn't we talk about the...
I'm going to try and find Mr. Masterson. Shall I tell him you'll apologize?
What?
He's just a punk. Sure you didn't make a mistake?
They made a mistake, all right.
Oh, how's that?
Wyatt Earp and I fell out. What am I supposed to know?
You know Nellie. You're in and out of the hotel asking for her.
Well, if it's Miss Nellie Wright you're talking about, I met her on the stage from Abilene.
Well, tie him up. We'll take no chances.
Certainly, Mr. Pollock. Certainly, but you got me all wrong.
Get him out of here and tie him up.
He's so innocent. How did he know my name? Look, Danny, we're going to put a mask on him, make him ride with us in the morning. If he hasn't tipped off Earp, he'll be just another outlaw like us. But if we ride into trouble, so will he.
Mr. Gruber?
Yeah? Oh, howdy, Marshal.
Clerk over at the hotel said Mr. Masterson came over here to ask you about a young lady renting a rig.
Oh, young fellow, well-dressed. He a friend of yours?
That's right.
Well, I thought he was just a drunk. I saw two men loading him into the back end of a wagon.
Why didn't you report that?
Oh, Marshal, you know they're always collecting drunks for these cattle outfits.
What about the girl, Nellie Wright?
Oh, her. Well, she paid me for 2 days and moved to that old boarding house down by the Santa Fe.
Thank you. All right, I'll ask you just one question. What do you think Pollock's going to do to Bat?
Well, if Bat hasn't owned up to anything, Dave might treat him like he did Fish Daniels.
How's that?
We weren't too sure of Daniels on the Hannibal and St. Joe deal. So Dave put a mask on him and took him along.
I see.
Are you going out there and jump Dave tonight?
Guess I'll have to.
That's stupid. First thing they do is put a bullet in the guy, then they'd scatter in the dark. Why don't you let them come after the payroll?
So you could get the reward?
Why not? I'm risking my life. Let Masterson take a risk, too.
There are 2 deputies watching the house. You stay here. Or are you going to sleep in the jail? Now, I don't want a man to fire until I've taken my shot with the bunt line. That goes for you, Mr. Kenton, and your Santa Fe men. Now, if Pollock brings Mr. Masterson along, I'm going to try to crease Mr. Masterson just enough to knock him off his horse.
Any man of mine fires, I'll crease them.
Fine. Let's get out there.
Time to put your mask on, Sonny.
There's a guard on that wagon, and he shoots me, I'm dead. If you get away with the money, I'm an outlaw.
That's tough. Put it on. All right.
Wagon's coming.
What? It's me! Get down, Bat! Get those guns! Get them off the horses!
It was a stupid stunt. I was aiming to crease you.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I didn't want a bullet in my head.
All right, all right.
It's not all right. Why didn't you come out and take me from Pollock's last night? But oh no, you're a cold-blooded John Law. And lay up there with your buntline special trying to put a crooked part in my hair.
Will you relax? It's all over, and you and Nellie will get a big reward.
Dave Pollock.
How bad'd you get him?
He's finished.
Why do we have to wait till Billy dies? Why don't we go kill Bat Masterson right now?
That won't be long one way or the other. If we lose Billy, Masterson will pay for it.
Yeah, but what if Marshal Earp decides to stick up for Bat?
Earp's just flesh and blood. A bullet will take him the same as anybody else.
The code of the frontier peace officer was a simple and unwritten law. You gave any man a chance to surrender. If he reached for a gun, you hit him on the head with the barrel of a .45 or you shot to disable him. Wyatt Earp, as Marshal of Ellsworth, Wichita, and Dodge City, followed this code to the letter, often at the risk of his own life. But young Bat Masterson, his new deputy marshal, had a lot to learn. Despite Wyatt's instructions, Bat was apt to get excited or trigger happy.
Go get Marshal Earp. Billy Jordan's on the prod. He'll hurt somebody.
And another thing, Mr. Masterson, sparking dance hall girls and being a deputy marshal, they just don't mix. Now, morals have nothing to do with it. It's just that I can't run an office like this with one of my deputies going around telling secrets to some fairy belle in a dance hall.
I don't tell him a thing, Wyatt.
No, not so far, but there's always the next girl.
Hello, Wyatt.
Al?
Some drunk cowhand shooting up the Long Branch. I'll take care of him.
Oh. Why don't you take Mr. Masterson along with you? The quicker he learns our methods, the better off he'll be.
Come on, Bat.
Will one shotgun be enough?
Oh, that'll be plenty. Oh, Hal will scare him and you grab him.
Your cards are crooked. I don't need to squawk to Wyatt Earp. Everybody out! This place is closed! Here?
All right, Billy. You emptied your gun.
I got more bullets in my belt.
Drop it.
Oh, no. No, Johnny. No.
He was only bluffing. He's hurt pretty bad. You gotta get him over to Doc McCarty's office.
His gun was empty, so you shoot him in the back.
I didn't know that.
Well, never mind that. Give me a hand. Come on, somebody, give me a hand. Bat thought he was gonna shoot me.
You tell Earp I want to see him about this.
Yeah, all right, Mr. Beeson. Come on, Bat.
See what Earp has to say. hired a trigger-happy kid for a deputy.
Mr. Beeson, I just came from the doc's office. He says Jordan has a chance.
Do you think Masterson did right?
Well, I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. But as a general rule, when a man is told to drop his guns, he better do it or he's asking for trouble.
Are you defending Bat?
I'm responsible for all my deputies.
Well, I just wanted to know. You see, I'm going to have to explain this to Billy Jordan's old man, his brothers, and his cousins. You're in trouble, Herb.
All right. If they want to talk to me, I'll be around. It's also a general rule, Mr. Beeson, that a customer checks his guns. How'd Jordan get so drunk that he waved a .45 in the face of a deputy with a shotgun?
So the main point is, Wyatt, that I knew Jordan wasn't going to shoot, but Bat didn't. He was standing behind the kid.
Thanks, Sal. Oh, make another check down at Doc McCarty's, will you?
Yeah.
All right, say it.
No, you say it.
I got excited, sure. Was afraid Jordan would cut loose at Hal.
Well, Mr. Masterson, we all make mistakes.
I don't think it was a mistake. I was playing it safe for Hal.
You could have shot Jordan in the arm or the shoulder.
When taking a chance, sure.
Look, we all take chances. I aim to wing a man instead of shooting to kill. Thought you knew what my policy was when you hired on here.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with it.
Oh, you don't, huh?
Look, you're lightning with a gun and dead accurate. You can't expect us deputies to take the same risks you run.
Hal didn't shoot, and he had more reason to fire than you did.
He might have got his head blown off, too.
No, he's had experience with drunks. You're under arrest, Mr. Masterson.
Arrest?
And don't leave the jail. Gonna have to find out what Jordan's relatives think about it.
Relatives?
That's right. They all have relatives and friends, Mr. Masterson. That's why we try not to kill people. How is he, Doc?
Well, he's still alive.
Did you get the bullet on?
No, it was awfully close to the heart.
Well, you think he'll make it?
Not unless that slug comes out. I've stopped the worst bleeding, but the bullet nicked a rib. It's probably jagged enough to cut an artery.
Well, you can operate, can't you?
I could, Wyatt, but, you know, working that close to the heart, maybe we'll have time to get a fine surgeon from Kansas City.
Hey, what about a Army surgeon from Fort Dodge? It's only about 25 miles away.
Not much chance of getting one, I'm afraid.
All right, boys. Take off your gun belts. Hang them on your saddles.
Looks like some of Billy Jordan's folks.
I wish you'd ask him to stay outside for a while.
Yeah, I'll try it. Any of you Jordans?
We're all Jordans. My boy in there?
Yes, sir. But he's asleep. Dr. McCarty thinks you ought to wait a while.
Billy's still alive.
Yes, sir.
Tell me that one of your deputies shot Billy.
He was resisting arrest.
With an empty gun and his back turned?
Look, we know who it was. If Billy don't pull through,
Hold
we're
it,
gonna...
son. Mort to tell me you've been mighty decent in handling arrests. But I can't understand why you'd hire a young fellow like Masterson.
You want the honest truth?
Yes.
Mr. Masterson got excited and used poor judgment. But we've all made mistakes and...
Killing ain't just a mistake. If my boy loses out, so does Masterson.
That would be a mistake too, Mr. Jordan. I must warn you and your boys not to wear guns in this town.
We're not gonna wear them. Just gonna keep them handy.
You put Wyatt in an impossible situation. He'll be too loyal to fire you. He may even feel he has to back you up if it comes to a gunfight. Now, I'm sorry, but it seems to me that...
I'll quit. I'll turn in my badge.
No, you won't. Billy Jordan's still alive. You go on down and make your regular patrol.
Yes, sir. I thought I was under arrest.
I wanted to keep you here until I had a chance to talk to the Jordans.
But, Wyatt, it isn't only the Jordans. Public opinion
I know,
is...
sir. Go on.
Why don't you let him resign?
Because he has the makings of the top-notch officer. Legally, he was within his rights. I'm going to get a telegram off to Captain Benteen over at the fort. Maybe he'll send us a Army surgeon. Excuse me, sir. Hal? Hal?
Yes, sir.
Get this telegram off right away, will you?
If Doc McCarty can't save the boy, no one else can, and you know it.
It's a chance, sir.
Hang it all, Wyatt. You're carrying loyalty too far. The Jordans could gun Masterson, and any jury in Dodge would turn him loose.
Mr. Mayor, I don't defend what he did. I told Jordan's father I thought he made a mistake.
Then let him take his punishment.
You don't really mean that, sir. Besides, he's taking his punishment. He's taking it right now. Now, right now, Mr. Masterson is just about the lonesomest young man in the world.
Hello, Mr. Kent. Howdy, Mr. Prentice. Gotta check the shotgun, Mr. Beeson. I was over at Doc McCarty's. He said Jordan's holding his own.
No thanks to you.
Now, wait a minute.
You finished your business here. Now get out of my place.
Eve Tuttle, where you been keeping yourself? Hey, now, Eve, we're supposed to be old friends. We rode trail together. Hi, Joni, Mildred. Where's Charlene? Look, Charlene, I've had enough of this. What's the idea of you hiding and giving me the cold shoulder?
I know Billy Jordan and his folks.
That's what I've been trying to tell you. I couldn't help it. I thought he was going to shoot Hal.
Don't get me mixed up in it.
Mixed up in what?
In the fight that's coming between you and the Jordans.
They're not gonna.
Oh, yes, they are. If you've got any sense, you'll leave Tom before they come
Run from them? Is everybody crazy?
You're the one who's wrong. I suppose you think Marshal Earp and the other deputies are going to stick up for you?
Wide will. That's all I need.
Get out of town, Bat. You'll live longer. I've got to go back inside.
Captain Benteen's sending an Army doctor. Says he's a fine surgeon.
How long will it take him to get here?
A couple of hours if he's got a good horse.
You better have someone meet him on the trail with a fresh horse.
That much of a hurry? I'll get a man off before sundown.
An army doctor? Why?
We have to cut the bullet out, Mr. Jordan.
Will you cut it out? We're wasting time.
I'm not that good with a knife.
Look, Mr. Jordan, you let the doctor decide what he can do and what he can't do. See you later.
Hey. I'll send one of these boys to meet the Army doc with an extra fast horse.
Dr. Perkins know you? It's going to have to be somebody he knows.
How's that?
Well, there's been a lot of outlaws riding that trace from the fort. You stay here, I'll send a man that he'll recognize.
Right away?
My horse and his own.
Oh, so you're trying to save young Masterson.
Dr. Perkins is going to try and help your boy. If he can't, I'll help Mr. Masterson.
You go get old man Jordan and his men. And bring your guns. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. All right, if you ain't moved by the time I count three. Hold it.
What are you going to do? Go around shooting people just because they stare at you? We'll talk inside.
Yes, sir.
Kind of lonesome on patrol, huh?
Yeah, and I'm not going to take any more of it. Where's Dad Jordan?
He's over at Doc's place.
All right. I'll have it out with him. No sense in dragging you into my fight.
Well, I'm already in it.
Thanks just the same. Here, I'm quitting.
Mr. Masterson, it's about time you really grew up. You made an error in judgment today, and a lot of people hate you for it. But when a grown man blunders, he doesn't try and cover it up with worse foolishness. A gunfight single-handed against 5 Jordans, huh?
What else? They're just waiting for Billy to die, then they come after me. I want it over with.
Killing a few Jordans and getting yourself killed?
I don't see that I got much choice.
You know Dr. Perkins over at the fort?
Sure, he fixed up my leg.
Well, the doctor's riding here to try and help Billy Jordan. I want you to take my horse and ride your own out there to meet him. It'll hurry the doc's getting here. Doc McCarty doesn't think Jordan has much time. Don't you owe Billy that much?
They'll come after me.
I'll gun the first one that tries it.
Well, then they'll all say you're fighting my fights.
They say you're a murderer. But you shot a man in the back. Anything worse they can say?
No, sir.
Bet you give me 5 minutes for me and the boys get down to Doc Jordan. Then you hit the trail.
Masterson's trying to run out of town. He just galloped off from the jail.
All right, come on, we'll get him.
Hold it!
Take their horses and guns on over to the jail yard.
Your friend can't run far enough or fast enough.
He's not running. He'll be back. He went to get Dr. Perkins.
Us folks still have some legal rights, you know. I want to send one of these boys after Mayor Hoover.
Yeah, you can do that. In a half hour.
Go get him. Right now.
I said a half hour.
Howdy, Dr. Perkins.
That's Bat Masterson. My apologies for the gun, but I've been held up so many times.
Marshal Earp sent you his horse. Jordan's pretty bad off, Doctor.
We better be getting along, eh?
Right.
All right, Bat, we'll hustle.
We'll leave your horse at the way station down the road.
All right.
Let's ride. Come on.
And you get tough with Mr. Jordan here, whose son is desperately ill. I don't care what the provocation is. I'm not going to have the respectable citizens of Dodge rousted around by the marshal's office.
You're the mayor, Mr. Hoover.
Yes, I am. And I want you to return the property you seized from Mr. Jordan and his party.
The horses and the guns?
Yes, at once.
I told you, Earp, there's nothing you can do to save Masterson. And I thank you kindly, sir.
Not at all, Mr. Jordan. And Wyatt, I warned you.
Is he worse?
Yes. Shouldn't Dr. Perkins be here by now?
I figure another 15 or 20 minutes.
If Masterson really went for him.
You're going to get your horses and your guns. But if Mr. Masterson has to make a fight for it, he won't be alone.
I never thought he would be.
Wyatt, have you lost your head? This thing is bad enough without a gunfight between you and the Jordans.
You expect me to let one of my deputies get shot down with the odds 5 to 1 against him?
He was wrong.
Not wrong enough to die for it, sir. I've come within an inch of killing a few men myself. Now, I'll give the Jordans their guns back, only because you order it. I'll give you my star and my job, but I won't give you a brother officer's life. Now, look, I've known Mr. Masterson a long time. But he's a newcomer to both of you, and I still say you can keep out of it.
We like the kid, Wyatt. He thought he had to shoot Billy Jordan to save me. Let's get over there.
Fine. But remember one thing. We stay out of it until we find out Billy makes it. The Jordans aren't going to do anything to Mr. Masterson if that surgeon can pull Billy through. All right, let's go.
I'll tie the horses.
So, you're Masterson. I'm Billy's father. Take him around there and set him down, boys, like Wyatt Earp did to us. We won't have long to wait.
Shouldn't we scatter and get them from both sides of the house?
No, they'd kill Bat. It's my stupid fault for getting here late. You keep me covered. I'll try and keep them talking.
Raise them up.
They're up, Mr. Jordan.
I ask you to keep out of it.
Well, I am out of it. Mr. Jordan's got the drop. You were wrong, weren't you?
Wrong?
Sure, he came back, brought Dr. Perkins, didn't he?
That didn't change nothing.
No. What if Billy pulls through?
Don't let him jabber, Dad. Take his guns.
I've got him covered. You take them.
No. You don't take my guns. Mr. Jordan, tell him to stand back.
Hold it, son. Are you aiming to make a fight of it? I could pull this trigger and drop you.
Well, you wouldn't be that stupid.
Why, you...
Mr. Masterson is a lonesome man right now. You could kill him and get away with it if your son dies. You drop me and you're going to hang.
Are you going to shut him up?
Shut yourself up. You're right, Mr. Marshal. I don't want to pull this trigger. All I want is for my boy to live. But if he don't, you're gonna get it, and so is Masterson.
Go ahead and shoot me. Wyatt, don't go for your guns. You can kill 2 or 3 of them, but they'll cut you down.
Well, I know that. But Hal and Jack are just across the street. If they start this fight, there won't be a Jordan left alive except Billy.
He's bluffing, Dad. Pull the trigger or I will.
No. I'll do it.
What is all this? Which one of you is the boy's father?
I am. Is he dead?
No, we took the slug out. He's got a better chance to live than you have. Did you have to kill him, Marshal?
You can get off the first shot, but it better be awful good.
Doc, don't lie to me. Is Billy gonna pull through?
He'll live to bury you. Mr. Earp's patience isn't going to last much longer.
No, it isn't. Thanks, Doc. That was kind of close.
Let the Jordans thank me. Just for my own information, why didn't you go for your gun?
Well, he was an old man. A bunch of boys. Mr. Masterson, if I were you, I'd go in there and apologize to Billy Jordan.
Yes, sir.
Let me have your gun. Needs a nice, calm trigger finger. Now, go tell the mayor we'll all be living for a